and welcome. As you can see, I'm having a bit of a spring clean here in the studio. We're coming out of winter, thankfully, and today has been a fantastic sunny day, and so I thought I'd take the opportunity, come out here to the studio and do a bit of a clean-up after the winter freeze. Because to be honest, I haven't really been out here that much, and so I've got a workshop coming up this next weekend, and so I've got to get things in order, get the floor swept, arrange my wheels, etc. Anyway, just going to bring the camera in a little bit here, just a little bit closer, because, well, in actual fact, last weekend I was in this camera, because it's rather narrow and wide. Sometimes I'm struggling to get myself in the picture. Anyway, hopefully that I'm going to be in the picture there. So anyway, yeah, last weekend I was up in just the other side of Toronto, up at the Kawartha Potters Guild, and they held a workshop together with Fusion, which is the Ontario Potters and Glass Blowers, I believe. It's called Fusion anyway. So I was up there giving a workshop. We were about 30 people. So big hi to everybody up there in Canada. Had a great time. Loved being up there in Canada. It's a little bit different from the US. A feeling of space and just bigness. Not so many people, I suppose. So that's great. Anyway, hi to all of you up there. I enjoyed your company, and I hope that what we did together was helpful to you. Just revolve the screen of my little video camera here, because that then enables me to see myself as I speak to you. So I can be in the camera, not have sort of half my head out. I just wanted to give you a few dates for your diary. Sort of upcoming workshops over the next 6 months or so. So here goes. And you should be able to check the dates of everything I'm giving you on my website, which is simonleachpottery.com. simonleachpottery.com. Okay, I'm going to give you just a rundown of workshops that I am running here in this studio. Now, in this studio here, we only have a maximum of 5 people. Everybody has their own wheel, and you get quite a bit of personal attention. So yeah, so April 9th and 10th. I can't read this. Oh yeah, I think we've got 5. I think we've got 5 free spaces there. So that's completely open. April 9th and 10th. April 23rd and 24th, we have 2 spaces available. May 7th and 8th, we have 5 spaces. So that's completely open. May 28th and 29th, we have 4 spaces available. June 11th and 12th, we have 4 spaces available. And June 25th and 26th, we have 5 spaces available. So as you can see, we have quite a lot of availability of spaces at the moment. In fact, the next workshop, which I've got to do, which is this coming weekend, is actually fully booked up. We've got five people coming, but that's full. All right, and then also in June, though, I am at the Pennsylvania Guild of Craftsmen, and that's June, I think it's June 4th and 5th, but it's on the website. If you go there, you'll be able to see. So that's the Pennsylvania Guild of Craftsmen, and that's going to be over towards Harrisburg. I'll be doing that. Now, a bit later on in July, 4th and 5th, 4th to the 15th of July, I'm going to be in Colorado at the Anderson Ranch. Anderson Ranch, Colorado, 4th to 15th of July. That is, in fact, you know, it's like a longer 2-week workshop, which, you know, is going to be a little bit more relaxed, not quite so intense, and over that 2-week period. So, but in that workshop we'll be glazing and firing as well. Okay, moving on. September the 11th and 12th, I'm going to be at the Peters Valley Craft Center, which is in New Jersey. That's in kind of northern New Jersey. It's near a place called, crumbs, what's it called? Peters Valley Craft Center. Best is Google it. If you're unsure, Google it. I think it's in a place called Layton, near Layton, New Jersey. All right. So that's what's going on. That's what I'm doing over the next kind of 6 months, just to give you a rough breakdown. So do try to get along to a workshop and attend and get some practicing in. Anyway, what have I got to do now? I've got here, I'm just going to zoom the camera in a bit here on the table here. Now when I go and do a workshop somewhere, I often come back with some pots that I made at the workshop, and sometimes they have to be finished off. And I've got a teapot here that needs to be finished off. I'm sorry if I've already done this for you on a video, but you know, it has to be done, it has to be finished, so I thought you might as well see it. I've got this rather old banding wheel, which I'm actually would rather like to get another one, or at least maybe a couple more banding wheels. So if anybody's got a banding wheel that they don't want, they would like to sell it or give it away, I'd be more than willing to receive it. Once in a while we have to give the old banding wheel a little bit of oil. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Oil the fella, because it'll make him spin a lot better. This is actually a very cheap banding wheel, but and it's rather rusty, as you can see. However, that's all I've got. So anyone out there got a banding wheel they want to flog, please get in touch. Contact me via my website. Anyway, I'm just going to make a start. Probably won't have time to finish it all right now. You know, it takes to flute a teapot like this probably takes 10 minutes or so. So I'm just going to try and zoom the camera in here on me doing this. Oh, good old fluting, right? Well, one of the things about fluting, of course, it does lighten the pot a little bit, doesn't it? If you've got a pot that just looking at this teapot, just take a note that the height of the spout. You see, a lot of people I see with their teapots, the spout height is actually the exit of the spout is kind of down here. You know, it's too low. It's just something to bear in mind when you're making a teapot. the level of tea in the teapot. If the spout is too low down, it will just drain out or dribble out onto the table. So make sure that the spout is high enough at this point. Another point, just to, maybe I'm going to change the focus on the camera because we're getting a bit in a bit. I want you to see this. When you have your lugs here, make sure you have enough distance there and there on either side. That's important because you want to be able to lift the lid on and off. Alright, and the cane handle that's going to attach here does encroach a little bit into that space. So when you join your lugs, you can angle them outwards a little bit, you see? They're slightly going out. Another thing, don't forget there's a hole in the top of the teapot, which is, no, it's not to let steam out, but it's to let the air in, isn't it? So the tea can flow out. So when you pour it, it pours nicely. Alright, so maybe I need to just dip the camera down a bit. Maybe we need to just also zoom it a bit in. So using the old hacksaw blade as usual, I use the rounded end because that's the end I personally prefer. We get the hardness of the teapot right. I've been keeping this one under wraps for the last days. So just doing vertical flutes, straight down, do check the flutes every once in a while that they are straight, because it's very easy for the flutes to veer off to the right or to the left. As those of you know who've tried it, no doubt you will have experienced that. This teapot at the moment is sort of pretty ideal kind of hardness. So going around the teapot like this. It doesn't take long. Just keep fluting away, and before you know it, you'll be more than halfway around. In a jiffy. There you are. You see, I've already done that side. I'm going to take the lid off at that point, at this point. My seal is just there, so I'm having to be careful. Sometimes I seal on the bottom and sometimes I seal on the side. In this case I sealed it on the side, so as I'm fluting now I mean, I suppose I could have I should have perhaps put the seal on after I'd fluted. In actual fact, I sealed it. I think I sealed it up in Canada, and I thought, I think I was thinking to myself, I better seal this now while the pot is still damp enough to receive a seal, because I was sort of thinking it would probably dry out, you know, in the car. Yeah, I drove up there. It's alright, it's quite a pleasant hike, just a mere 450 miles. Ended up in Toronto on a Friday afternoon in the rain and in the rush hour. Not the best timing. However, my GPS, of course, stopped working in Canada because it's only for the US. So it was down to good old-fashioned map reading, which can be quite stressful actually if you haven't done it for a while and you're trying to get to a destination in a foreign country and you're stuck in traffic in the rain. However, we made it. So, coming round again now, down the far side to the finishing line. Coming up for the photo finish. See, now I'm coming round to the point where I've got to negotiate the spout. But we're not daunted. Just keep a steady hand. Okay, so I've done that. Now I've just got to do this little bit along the bottom here, sort of underneath the spout. Okay, all right, that's the teapot now fluted all the way around, and was probably lost a little bit of weight. And there it is with the lid on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a radial flute on the top of the lid. So I'll show you how to do that. I've done it before with you, I know. Let me just adjust the camera a bit further down. So what you have to do is establish, whoops, sorry, kick the camera, kick the tripod. What you have to do is get your banding wheel, tap center it on center, and then establish where is the center of the lid. Alright, now you may not see it, but I've made a little mark there, which is a reference point, which I'm going to use now to continue this radial, what will be a radial flute going all the way around. Again, I'm going to use the rounded end of the hacksaw blade. So you've got to start, make a start somewhere. This is probably a little bit more challenging, but once you've done it a few times, it's not so difficult as you might think. Show you what we've done so far. So, around we go, just negotiating the air hole of the teapot lid. And there it is. It's a very forgiving technique, fluting. I encourage you to have a go, and don't think to yourself that you won't be able to do it, because you probably will surprise yourself, and you probably will find that you will be able to do it. You see, when you look at it, it looks quite impressive, doesn't it? But each flute is actually different. But when you look at it, your eye beholds the whole lot of them together. So it kind of sees it as one, not as 20 individual flutes, but like just one unit. So it's quite forgiving. I'll put the lid on the teapot. Of course, this kind of work that we do in clay, when you put certain glazes over it, like celadon, typically celadon glazes, can look very nice, because these sort of this kind of decoration that we do, it is subdued by the glaze, so it's more subtle, but and is very pleasing. Get the camera back. So, fluting, have a go. You can do it on just about anything, and you'll be very pleased. Trust me. If you don't believe me, just try it. Okay. Take a note of the workshop dates, and if you didn't get any of the dates, just go to my website, simonleachpottery.com, and check them out. Okay, well, from the studio here in Etna Furnace, here in Williamsburg, Simon Leach saying, keep practicing. That's the secret. See you next time. Bye-bye.